In 1991, a killer walked into an elderly woman's home and brought his 5-year-old son with him. Not by accident, as a disguise. While the boy sat on the living room floor playing with a box of Legos, his father beat a 78-year-old widow to death in the next room. The Legos went into a police evidence box. They stayed there for 23 years. They're the reason he finally got caught. Holladay, Utah, February 2, 1991. Lucille Johnson is 78 years old, a widow, the kind of neighbor who brings soup when you're sick. Her daughter comes to check on her that morning and finds the front door locked. But something is wrong inside. Lucille is dead, beaten. Nothing forced, nothing broken. Just a ring missing from her hand. Police have no leads, no suspect, no motive. Johnson and her killer, as far as anyone can tell, are complete strangers. The case goes cold. Then, in 2006, it's officially closed. Somewhere in a warehouse, a small box of children's toys sits untouched. In August 2013, a Utah cold case unit reopens Lucille's file, one of nearly 40 unsolved killings sitting in storage. They pull the fingernail scrapings taken from her body in 1991 and run them through a national DNA database that didn't exist back then. A match comes back. The DNA belongs to a man named John Sansing. He's not a stranger to law enforcement. He's sitting on death row in Arizona for a murder that looks disturbingly familiar. In 1998, a churchwoman named Trudy Calabrese brought food to Sansing's family. He tied her up. He killed her. He later traded her jewelry for drugs. Same method, same kind of victim. Different state, different decade. But the DNA alone isn't enough to close a 23-year-old case. Investigators need one more piece, something to place him inside that house. They still have the Legos. Detectives pull the toy bricks out of evidence and test them for prints. They find a small, partial fingerprint, a child's. They track down Sansing's son, now a grown man, and compare it. It's a match. In 1991, that boy was 5 years old enough to be brought along, too young to understand why. Investigators believe his father used him as the disguise. A man with his little boy doesn't look like a threat at the door. While the child played with plastic bricks a few feet away, his father murdered a woman he'd never met. The son had no idea, for over 2 decades, that his own fingerprints were sitting in an evidence locker, waiting to convict his father. In August 2014, John Sansing is charged with first-degree murder in Lucille Johnson's death. His wife tells police he confessed to her, years earlier, that he'd killed an elderly woman in Utah. His nephew comes forward with the same story. Sansing is already on death row for the 1998 killing. Utah adds a new charge to a life that will end in a cell regardless. Lucille's children get something they never expected to have: an answer. Her daughter says she doesn't call it closure. There's no word for getting your mother back. For 23 years, a box of children's toys sat in an evidence room, useless, waiting. Nobody knew a 5-year-old's fingertips were the missing piece of a murder. Not the detectives, not the family, not the little boy who grew up, lived his life, and never knew his own hands had been in that room the night it happened.